Hey guys. So, I'm the type of person who could really give a shit about trends. Like, I could care less. I don't know. I'm not into fake anything. Yeah, be they eyelashes, lips, fingernails, or friendships. I mean, truthfully, I don't see the point in spending money on things that are meant to make me look other than I do. And I also don't see the point in spending my energy on people who don't care about spending the same energy on me. So no, I'm not too into the trends. I mean, isn't that what a trend is anyway? Like a fleeting thing in time, Something fake to grab onto for a short while, yeah? And so, because I'm that type of person, I also find that I am the type of person who has to detox, okay? Detox from life, the world. I enjoy people very much, but I also enjoy my alone time. I enjoy quiet, detox from social media. Yeah, most definitely from that. And I know, here I am fucking sharing on social media. But how I got here has nothing to do with likes or trends or influencing anyone or anything like that, truthfully. The whole reason I started my podcast and then my YouTube was so I could be part of putting something more caring out into the world. I just want to be part of the good in life, in the best ways that I can in any current situations I'm in. And I felt strongly guided to do this and share this, And so I've just listened to that guidance. And so while, yes, I do have social media, I'm limited in it. I don't have TikTok. I don't particularly like TikTok, which of course you know quite well if you've been listening to me for a while. Actually, guys, honestly, I like it even less now. Recent events, that Titanic sub that went missing. Do you know how many people were making fun of that missing submarine on the TikTok app while they were still looking to try to rescue these people? It's, I don't know. One of my kids was showing me, it was a lot of people. And, now that unfortunately the time has passed and, we know that they didn't survive, they all perished. I'm just wondering how these TikTokers actually feel about themselves. Like, were them likes they had to get by making fun of someone else's tragic circumstances worth it? Yeah. I just... It's just so sad how little we value life today, isn't it? Anyway. So yeah, I don't use Twitter, Snapchat. I barely touch my Facebook. Because honestly, Facebook, Facebook, one of my Achilles heels. It's one of the means, though, that I've learned to deal with my shadows. My triggers, too, I guess. It's really what brought this episode to life. Because part of me, I still love to connect with those people I've missed, or who had a part in my life in some way, right? Be it as a new friends or old. But I've learned something. I've learned something about the nature of the beast, so to speak, of social media and why I feel the way I do around most of it. So that's what I'm going to get into today. The belly of the beast. The true anti-socialness of social media. And how we can spin it if we want to, if we choose to help us heal certain triggers within ourselves. See, this all came about as I started wondering, how can I really access information around my growth, my spiritual growth, my emotional growth, through my everyday reality? Even that ever-expanding virtual reality we have today, yeah? I thought, can I actually do this? And then I thought of Buddhism. And I was reminded how, through their practices, they have the ability to arrive at knowledge of the soul by surrendering and allowing the traditional understanding to slip away and diving into the paradox of all that is. It's a pretty epic way of finding our truths. Yeah? I fucking think so. See, often as we heal, we begin figuring out our own wisdom through our own inner paradoxes or, our own inner opinions that have formed layer by layer over the course of our lives. These are what we call epiphanies, my friends. And I've come to know that many of our greatest epiphanies come from when we are triggered. These epiphanies, right? They are so accessible to us in those moments of being more emotional, more dramatic, and even in those triggers that cause us great pain. Because it's in those moments that we have the ability to step back and shine light on our shadow, if we choose to. And this is where we can choose to grow. But honestly, it might take us a shit ton of courage, okay? And a fuckload of self-awareness to do it. Yep. It might just take that if we're gonna, hug it out with those emotional wisdoms those triggers are trying to bring to us. It is fucking amazing though, you guys. How much freedom comes to us when we're able to have these aha moments and decode these, fucking bullet points of information that our soul is creating just for us to learn from. And it's just a fact, okay, that sometimes the insight we need to learn is so perfect that it hits us right in the old tender button. But if we can release that tension and flow into our perfect healing, we can experience our own growth. Our mantra as humans, it should be, hang in there. It gets worse. But when we face the worst, that's when it gets better. It does. It does. That mantra would be a great fucking bumper sticker, wouldn't it? Oh. We begin to see that our own individual problems and power struggles can have a lasting effect on not only us, but the world around us. If we choose to let the shadow remain, it will continue to grow until it's beyond our control. And when it does, it only assists in creating more of those dark feelings and putting them out into the world. And I think we can all agree that none of us wants that. Do we have to allow ourselves to be inspired by that hidden wisdom whenever we find ourselves feeling triggered? It's the main way we can allow our perceptions and misunderstandings to shift. So recently, right, I posted a video on YouTube. One of my stories that I share messages of healing by relating it to stories I may have read or found that I can link back to healing modalities. It's kind of exactly what I do on the podcast by giving you personal examples and shit like that, except it's done in video form. I like to have fun with it. And honestly, I always do. I do. And that's what's most important to me. That's the energy I choose to focus on around it all. But I am trying to grow on my own and have a stream of income from the guidance and advice I've learned and, have the ability to help others too. I mean, girls gotta eat and, like, wear clothes and shit. Pay speeding tickets. And so, for this reason, I keep Facebook. So that I have another means to share things. The platform, I don't know, is one I'm used to. It's the one I'm most used to, I guess. And I have a lot of people on there. So the way I see it, I can share once and reach a lot more, right? But as this episode was coming to me, I guess, my guides decided to test my own triggers. And it just so happens, fucking Facebook was the key. Hey, again, I am learning too, yeah? So, anyway, I usually, honestly, I don't share too many of my YouTube content to Facebook. I don't. Because one, the channel is doing pretty well, growing on its own. And, if you're over there with me, thank you so much for your help, and your support is much appreciated. And if you're not, get your ass over there and subscribe. Like, what the hell? But no. And number two, I don't really like the Facebook app all that much. I don't. I know I talked about social media already, but still. I mean, yes, I have people on there. But honestly, I always feel triggered when I scroll through it. I don't know. I guess our guides know us well, don't they? But no, to me, more often than not, it's just a fucking sheeple app to me, okay? It just fucking is. I mean, what is it right now? Oh, the thread, right, is full of people posting a bunch of numbers, like rows of the number 8, and then slipping a random 375, and asking others to find a different number, right? Nobody's found the other numbers yet. And if you find the number, you can win absolutely nothing. That's just, and fucking people fall for this over and over and over. They eat the stupid shit up. And it's so fucking annoying. Again, my trigger, right? I'm aware. But, it's what this episode is about. And what's more annoying to me is that anything that is posted that, I don't know, doesn't have to do with a profile picture or something else just as physical and stupid is completely ignored. And so, the story I was sharing on the YouTube video, ironically, was about never staying where your value is not appreciated. It's a fucking good one, guys. You should go watch it. I'm just saying. I don't know. I guess it was meant to be posted there to see. Let's see how Facebook does with this, yeah? And so here's the thing, you guys. Not one of my so-called, 4,000 something friends even paid any attention to that post. Not one. And it's not like I expect instant reaction either. Like, I left it up for a long time. And so I found myself, as I went to bed that night, I was letting my shadows and my doubts overtake me around this for a little while. At first I thought, why am I not ever good enough for the kindness of others? Where am I doing things wrong? And as I dozed off, I asked my guides for clarity about it. And that's when the rest, this episode clicked in place for me. Sometimes we have to allow the world to teach us, Teach us But we also have to be willing to turn those teachings on ourselves and look within. It's the only way we can reveal the wonders of all that is us. All our unique inner universe has to say. Explore our own layers, yeah? So, I try to do this whenever I can. I do. Because it's how I keep healing and getting where I personally want to be. And so I realized with this experience that I was guided this time to share that video to Facebook. Not so much for the purpose to, help or entertain others, but more for something that I needed to help heal and learn within myself. Okay? Don't stay where you're not valued. Why put my energy into that platform when it doesn't serve anything around what my goal is? I mean, I'm looking around like it's not fucking Sesame Street, and we got the count over here, like find the 8, posting fucking number memes. And that's what the sheep are in a feeding frenzy over. Fake winnings. And that's what my brain was telling me. That's what I was getting by posting there too. Fake winnings. No substance. I mean, again, I just don't like fake. So I chose to pull my post because I realized that fucking fake book, it wasn't the right place for myself or my views to be appreciated. Not those ones anyway, I mean, what did they say? Know your audience? I just need a little more substance. I don't know. I guess what I learned here was sometimes just need to worry less and trust more. Back off a little, Release the pressure we put on ourselves, often unnecessarily. Life is better when it's full of fun and laughter, and that's how I choose to live. So why was I putting so much clout on these other things that didn't really matter at the end of the day? Didn't really resonate with my soul, Because I was spending too much time in my head, my ego, my logic, where I should have been listening to my heart. Through this trigger, it was, for me, about finding a balance between being real and trying to people please all the time. So what I learned from this, that one of my biggest triggers was not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy of taking up space or being heard in the world. And I realized that I was mistakenly basing it on how others treated me, or how I viewed how they were treating me. And that was an epiphany for me, that I guess my guides were trying to show me that I had been doing my whole life. Something happened in my childhood, or probably many somethings that led up to it, but it caused me to have doubt about myself when it came to dealing with others. And I finally, you guys, was able to release that trigger. I finally realized that all I had to do was release myself from any old versions I created of myself so that I could survive. And, I honestly don't feel this way all the time. Of course I don't. I mean, truth be told, I have lots of confidence in myself and my abilities in life. I do. And usually, we are able to step away from those shadows for a while and feel good. But truth is, when we leave them as shadows, we will still feel them over and over until we fully shine light on them. See why they're there. Right? At first, the lack of support from my family and my friends, it hurts. It makes me feel like they didn't think I was good enough to even engage with. Right? My goals in life mean less to them than a fucking meme. The ego steps in and does that to us. But I know That's not the case. I know it's not the case. My healed, or my healing version of self, I should say, knows that others' actions don't have anything to do with me. But I had a little more to learn from that shadow. It's what the episode is all about, right? And for me, it is because I am out in the world. I am showing myself to the masses, so to speak, and because of that, I have to know that not everyone is for me, and I am not for everyone, and that's okay. My guides were simply urging me to heal that shadow now, so it don't come back anymore, because I've got a lot more to share with humanity. But as humans, it is important. It's important that we identify any blocks we have so we can clear them. And so, fret not, my faithful listeners. I will continue to do so. As I always say, in order to teach, we first must learn. And learn I do. I remind myself that I choose where my energy goes. So if something doesn't feel right or for me, why am I still putting my energy there? That's an area of my own self-awareness that I've grown. And it's a good feeling when the trigger doesn't cause you to shoot your own self down anymore. It just fucking is. And you guys, now that I look back from a healed sense around it, I can see how my guides did try to keep getting me to work through that pain I had built up since being a kid. They kept showing me different situations around this lesson. But what I realized was I just kept getting over it, but not ever actually working through it. Because I viewed each situation as its own thing. You know, it's a big thing we do as humans now. We compartmentalize, yeah? That's what I was doing. I was viewing each situation as its own thing or its own problem instead of viewing each situation as part of the lesson as a whole. I heard once that the reason we keep missing is because we are focused on the target and not our own actions. And that is exactly what our shadows are trying to teach us. Like, when my mom wasn't there growing up, or when my sister decided to disconnect from me almost altogether when I started my spiritual journey because it didn't mirror hers, yeah? Or when the guy I really, truly felt a great connection with and cared for kept making me his fourth round fucking draft pick, okay? Or, when my ex, sat there and listened while I cried and I told him what I thought he was doing and how deeply it hurt me. And he still decided to lie to me about it because it turned out he was doing the very thing I was asking about the entire time. All causes of pain for me. But now I see how these were all times that I was meant to get to my epiphany. But instead of embracing the shadow and learning from it at those times, I stuffed it down. Tried to maintain my smile, a toughness that nobody could hurt me. But truth was that I kept hurting myself. I kept focusing on my target of being loved and accepted, that I kept ignoring how my own actions were doing the exact opposite for my sense of self-worth. So I stopped. And I started loving myself, and I started honoring those feelings when something didn't feel good to me. Because I realized that I matter. I fucking matter. And it's not about what others see or don't see in me. It's about what I know I am in my heart. And just continuing to be that person every day, no matter what others do or say or fucking think. I think we all should live that way. It's how I've come into my happiness. I decided that my true self always wanted me to live with an open heart. And I just have to be brave enough to continue to always do that. And so here I am, humaning. Humaning my way along. Trying to honor my soul as best I can and just loving the adventure of it all. And that's a big thing. I think we can all learn from feeling those triggers, you know, not just saying, yup, that sucks, and putting on the brakes so we don't fully acknowledge why that pain is there. See, what I realize is that others are mirrors for what we need to heal inside of us. And truthfully, 9 times out of 10, you guys, the others aren't trying actively to hurt us. But because we hold those memories of past pains that we keep burying, we keep finding ourselves feeling those feelings in multiple situations. So, my epiphany was not to stay where I'm not appreciated. And it's where I feel I'm not appreciated. Okay? And that's a valid fucking point. Because it's my life. And I choose how to feel in it. If I want people around there, not going to be those types of people who make me feel bad or sad or less than in any way, because what the fuck good do those feelings serve? And you know, if I do happen upon people that do that, at least now I have the tools I need to work through them and see if these types of people even hold a place in my life anymore. I don't know. I don't just want bodies around me, okay? Just so I don't feel alone. No. I want compassionate, fun, authentic, caring, and loyal company. And that's what I choose to keep. So yes, my true friend circle is very small. And while I'm outgoing and I love having many different people in my life, and I will continue to make new acquaintances because I do love knowing all types of people. I just do. It's so interesting to me. That tight inner circle will remain as such because I'm only allowing those in that I know resonate with my values and my soul. I mean, shouldn't we feel good around those we have around us? And shouldn't we be confident and capable enough to walk away from those who don't make us feel good? But on the same token, I've also learned that there is no need to berate or belittle those who we have felt trampled by. No. Again, the point of healing the shadows is not to dwell in the reactions that they try to provoke out of us. No. There is so much more grace in your silence. Because the fact is, you guys, if someone was fucking hurting you intentionally, then they knew what they were fucking doing the entire time. And you kept coming back for more by staying in that presence. By gracefully bowing out, you just continue on in your faith of all that is you, and you begin to honor yourself. If the person was causing the pain unintentionally, due to their own shadows that needed healing, you honoring you, this may be what was needed for them to step into their own power and heal their own triggers. And who's to say if they heal, they couldn't come back and be a better version for your life? We just don't know as humans. We just have to honor our inner truth, And we can't force anyone to heal. And if we stay and try and they aren't willing, then we only hurt ourselves by remaining in that situation, you see? People will choose on their own, and we have to accept what they choose, even if it's the opposite of what we want them to. Hang in there. It gets worse. Right? Look, I've changed immensely in the past 2 to 3 years. And I will always give others the same benefit of the doubt when it comes to changing habits. They'll show you by their actions, It's just who I am. I focus on the love, but I know what type of energies I want and need in my life and what I don't. And the only way I fully learn this is by healing my own shadows, you guys. And that thing about grace is it doesn't matter whether you see it or not. Grace simply is. And it doesn't really require anyone to bear witness to it. And that's the truth of who we as humans are at our core. You know, social media makes us think we have to proclaim our grace, you know, validate and be validated by it, right? You know, how we post how kind and generous we are. Oh, look at me paying for the person behind me in the drive-thru, or look at me filming the poor guy asking for change as I give him $1. To me, that's false grace. And it's simply another way to gain superficial likes, another way to bury the shadows of why we do what we do. The triggers and traumas try to get us to validate ourselves around our pain, but the greatest validation we can give ourselves is the grace of releasing it all. So no, we don't have to witness grace, but when we do, when we do see that grace in all its glory, and see it with our eyes, you guys, and not post the shit out of it, okay? When we see that, we realize that we have had it in us all along. And now each step, each connection we have with others, each situation we find ourselves in becomes one of amazement and awe, yeah? You, through your own grace, decide that the best course of action is not to become hard or desperate for the attention your awe-inspiring life creates, but instead to create the world around your steps with choices that honor love. And you know, maybe you wonder if you can get to this level of understanding yourself, if you can attain such growth. Yeah, not gross. Truth is, we are all already equipped with enough grace within us that will pull us through any circumstance we find ourselves in. And the way you acknowledge it is pray. Pray. Or, you know, ask your guides, or whatever way you speak your faith into being. That you are able to access the unconditional love that you are, and that you will be supported by others that also love you without condition. Ask. Ask that. Ask that you realize how soaked you are in the grace that you're full of. Your being is completely full. Ask to be a fucking grace sponge, okay? Because when we find ourselves one with grace, we know that success is ours. That we do have the ability and capacity to take the next steps in our journey of life. And we also learn that through this abundance of grace, when we accept it, that it only continues to grow. And that, my friends, is pretty fucking magical. The world is full of duality. We have to own and accept that. Not only in the outside world we see, but inside us as well. We have to look at ourselves and with others with eyes that perceive the unseen. You know, the goal of this life is to blend our dualistic qualities until we become whole again, become one. And this journey of oneness is not about ignoring or rejecting our duality. No, it's more about allowing ourselves to experience it. And we are meant to experience it as an expression of our one love. One love, like Bob Marley. Let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. And you know, love means we avoid what is not wanted and embrace what is. Rumi said, it's about embracing the all, finding the freedom and joy originally sought, but now through a path that takes you into joy and freedom existing within. And while the steps might not be easy, not at first, even second or fucking third, they will be worth it. The truth is, you guys, that letting go of the old wounding that we have held onto for so long will propel us forward into that empowerment and liberation we seek. And in it, we find our own compassion, happiness, and peace. If, and only if, we are willing to push through that resistance. And we won't do this by not feeling our feelings. Nope. Instead, we do this by feeling whatever we need to fucking feel. We are human. And the healing journey is not about trying to stop being human. Let's make that quite clear, shall we? What it is about is feeling into your heart and being able to shift as you feel those hurtful feelings. Hold them with your own compassion and then choose. Choose your truth. Choose what resonates for you at a greater vibration and choose to then live your life in your truth. To feel empowered in doing so and also to feel empowered in allowing others to do so. Walking our own paths and not having to know or understand others' paths is a very liberating way of life. It allows peace in your own heart when you view life this way. So, if this is what you seek, I highly suggest you fucking give it a try. With grace. With love. Trust your own path. Trust your own evolution. Embrace wisdom and freedoms. And live your life according to those values. And you know what? I think that's where I'll end it today, you guys. Keep that bit of guidance with you. And I promise your star will shine just as bright as it has always meant to. Remember, what others do or say does not define you. The only way it does is if you choose to allow it to become the definition of who you are. Life is about embracing all of it. Finding the joy we have always sought out, but the goal is now we have the ability to honor the path to that joy, that freedom that exists within us. So for me in my life, I'm choosing to live beyond those limiting definitions, and my hope is that you do too. Okay, my friends, much love for you all, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.